So basically this one today we'll discuss only three things, very simple thing: concept of disease, concept of health, epidemiological triad, and multifactorial of causation. Okay, so concept of disease, causation, or concept of health. So the concept of health has four components. The first one is biomedical concept, second is ecological concept, third is psychosocial concept, and the fourth is holistic concept. So it's very simple. What is biomedical concept? Biomedical means that the disease is caused by biological agent, organism. Okay, like you can say biological is like coronavirus, no? It's caused by biological, no? By virus. Okay, you can say to what caused cholera? What is the causative organism for cholera? Okay, Vibrio cholerae. So yes, so this is the biomedical concept of health. Okay, that means some living organism or agent is causing the disease, okay, and impair health. Second is ecological. Is ecological concept? Can you give me any example? How does ecology affect health? Ecology means environment. Do you know any impact of environment on health? Air pollution, water pollution. So ecology, okay. So mainly with climatic condition. Psychosocial concept. Just give me some example. Does psychosocial concept also affect health? Now you see with this COVID situation, people are feeling not good mentally, physically, no? Psychological, it affects people, yes or no? So you also feeling in sitting, it has some psychological. Psychological is mainly for mental health or this social factors, society, culture. Some people have some good culture, some people have the culture is not so good for health. Okay. Then the fourth concept is holistic concept. Holistic means when you take everything all together, then it becomes a holistic concept. Okay, now I'll go one by one again. As I already told you, biomedical concept is the absence of disease. So it's largely mainly the germ theory of disease, that the disease is caused by some agent, okay, like malaria, cholera, tuberculosis, coronavirus. But biomedical concept is not fit for malnutrition. So do you know what is the cause of malnutrition? Is there any agent causing malnutrition? Or let's say diabetes. Is there any organism causing diabetes? Yes or no? So then we find out that it is mainly not fit for this chronic disease, no, mental illness, environmental pollution. So this biomedical concept has some limitation, mainly for infectious disease only. Okay. So this is the concept. Ecological concept I already told you is mainly we live in an equilibrium environment. Sometimes very cold, no, then even that also affect health. In India we have sometimes very hot climate, then people get heat stroke also, people are dying. So there is a maladjustment of the human organism and environment, no. So how we adapt to our environment, that is called ecological concept. So this health implies that relative absence of pain and discomfort and continuous adaptation. So mainly is we are adapting to our climate. Some place you find a very heavy rainfall, no? Like in Meghalaya we are having in the summer most of the time rain. So people are adapting to it. It's not much affecting their health. So psychological, I already told you, maybe psychological, it affects the mental part also. Then social, cultural, economic. So economy also affect the health. If poor people, okay, poor people may not afford to have a good nutrition, then they have poor health, okay, and they don't have access to good healthcare services also. So that also has a role, psychological, psychosocial concept. So many other social factors also are affecting the health. So health is both, you can say, biological as well as social phenomenon. I mean environment also involved in it, okay. So the holistic concept is good, so that we take overall the concept of health, that it is not only biomedical concept, not only ecological concept, not only psychosocial concept. So it is a holistic way that we take all factor into account. So tell me the four concept of health. What are the four concept of health? Yeah,
so
tell me.
Biological concept.
Yes, biological concept, or so
Environmental.
environmental or ecological concept? Okay, let me ask. Malverin Carpuria. Yes, then what is the fourth one is? Yeah, holistic. So these are the four concepts. Do you understand what is biomedical concept? As I told you, it has a biological agent causing the disease, like germ theory, no? Mycobacterium cause TB, huh? Then coronavirus cause this coronavirus disease, no agent. Psychosocial is the social factors. Okay, if you understand this, then we go to the next. So have you ever seen this triangle? Have you ever seen this triangle? So basically we have a disease is basically imbalance between the agent, host and environment. Who is the host here? Who is the host here? Host is a human being. No, agent is like, so now if you see with the coronavirus, what is the agent? Agent is a coronavirus. Then the host is human being. So in which environment do we get coronavirus disease, COVID-19? So these are the three factors we have to always consider. So like if you have for tuberculosis, who is the agent? Agent is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Who is the host? Host is human being. But you see, not all people are getting TB because it depends on the environment also. Okay, whether the tuberculosis bacilli is there or not, or whether the living condition is good or bad, it all depends environment. So what is this epidemiological triad? Generally when we have these three, like agent is the agent, you know, virus or bacteria, no? Host is human being, environment. So which environment do we get coronavirus disease? How does environment help in getting people coronavirus? Yeah, okay, or in the hospital where they keep the COVID positive people. Okay, so actually there are so many other factors. Then it depends on the immunity of people. Okay, it depends on immunity. It all depends on so many other factors also. It depends on whether a person is vaccinated or not. No, it depends on age group. It depends on person is wearing mask or not wearing mask. So many factors actually. So this is the epidemiological triad. So generally we have host, environment and agent. So let's go with this last concept of multifactorial causation. No? So we already discussed the concept of health concept, biological concept, ecological concept, psychosocial concept, holistic concept. Then now we discuss about epidemiological triad. Okay, this one you read detail from your book if you don't understand now. Then we come with the multifactorial causation. So this multifactorial causation is what does it mean is that generally the disease many a time is not only one factors. There are so many factors responsible for the disease. Okay, so this term was first coined by Pettenkofer of Munich. Okay, he was giving this concept of multifactorial causation, and this model is very much suitable for chronic disease, or another way we call it web of causation, where we consider all the predisposing factors. Okay, I'll give you example so that you know what are the multifactorial causation or web of causation. So let's see for tuberculosis. How does a people get tuberculosis? Why people get tuberculosis? Can you tell me the web of causation? So number one is host. No, host is the human being. That host is susceptible. Okay, host. But what is the agent? Agent is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now this host depend on the environment. Is living in overcrowding places. Okay, overcrowding. It depends on whether he got BCG vaccination or not. If he didn't get BCG vaccination, then it's a high chance for him to get tuberculosis. Okay. So malnutrition. So malnutrition is also a factor for getting tuberculosis because you have less immunity and Mycobacterium tuberculosis can multiply inside his body. So malnutrition. Then geriatric age group, especially old age, because also they have low immunity, that also may be a factor. Okay. Then next is exposure. So if you stay at home, okay, like people are not getting COVID if they stay home. But if you are going exposure, meeting people with tuberculosis, with cough, no, if the person is meeting sputum smear positive tuberculosis, then he may get a chance of becoming tuberculosis infection. Okay, do you understand this? That for TB also not only Mycobacterium tuberculosis, but also depend on other factor, overcrowding, malnutrition, okay, vaccination, then exposure, type of work, okay. So I'll give you another example of this is here, okay. So tell me, what is the factor which causing cardiovascular disease, heart disease? Anybody? This Anuj Kundu, where is Anuj Kundu? Anuj Kundu, no respond. Tell me, what are the factors which can lead to cardiovascular disease? What is the cause of cardiovascular disease? क्या cause है? What do you know? The outcome है ना, high LDL में because of something ना, पहले क्या था? But what is it? What are the factors why people get? Huh?
High cholesterol food.
So मतलब diet, no, dietary. So saturated fat, high in saturated fat. Okay. So high in saturated fat. Okay. What else? One is dietary factor for cardiovascular disease. The diet. Okay. High cholesterol diet. Yes. What else? You tell me one factor for cardiovascular disease. Okay. Obesity also one factor. So okay, obesity is somewhere in between. If your diet, you eating more diet, you can get obesity also. Okay. Mayuri Roy, Utkarsh, where is Utkarsh? This Utkarsh is sleeping or?
Diabetes.
Okay, diabetes तो ठीक है भाई, लेकिन diabetes क्यों हो रहा है? वो भी सेम ही है ना. Diabetes क्यों हो रहा है? वो saturated fat भी हो गया. तो दूसरा बोला है obesity है. तो what else can lead to diabetes also? You see, diabetes is an outcome है ना. But what are the factor I'm saying? What is the cause of diabetic? Okay, let's come to diabetic. What is the cause of diabetes? Any specific cause of diabetes? Utkarsh?
It may be genetics.
Okay, genetic is one but rarely होता है. Okay, else? But generally क्या होता है? But usually the most common cause of diabetes is what? नहीं यार, ऐसे नहीं है. सब diabetes तो insulin नहीं लेता है ना. If that is the main cause, every diabetic patient will take insulin. Only few people need insulin. No, diabetes is mainly majority is people are not able to utilize insulin properly. Okay, so I'm asking you is what are the risk factor for diabetic? Why people get diabetic? Why people have low insulin? In general, there are something called 90% of diabetes are lifestyle disease. No, it's type 2 diabetes. If you tell me type 1 diabetes is okay, that is less than 10%. So insulin deficiency is there, that's why they need insulin replacement. Okay, but 90% of the diabetic are non-insulin dependent. What are the factors? One is like they said is dietary factors. Then somebody is saying about obesity. What are the other factors which lead to diabetes or cardiovascular disease? Payal Paul, what are the other factor for cardiovascular disease or diabetes? Why people get diabetes?
Increase in glucose level in blood.
हाँ वो तो है, लेकिन क्यों हो रहा है? Why? What are the factors? So we are discussing multifactorial, no? Multiple cause. So one is the dietary, high cholesterol diet, no, obesity. What else? Anybody can tell? हाँ tell?
Sensitivity to insulin.
अरे छोड़ो, Utkarsh, insulin तो ठीक है छोड़ो. So now we want the outside the body only. I want to ask you something, not inside the body. Okay? So diet. So you should, Utkarsh, what are you saying?
Sedentary lifestyle.
Yes, very good. Sedentary lifestyle है, lack of physical activity. So this is one of the most important factor for cardiovascular disease or diabetes. What else? Any other boys? Tobacco, alcohol. Okay. If you say for diabetes, even stress. If you are stressful, then you are high chance of getting diabetes. You know. So these are the multiple factors. So there is no one cause for diabetes. Okay. Some of you say genetic. Okay. In some cases it is right. Genetic. Okay, because very high among identical twins. Genetic is maybe one factor, but generally maximum of the diabetic are multifactorial. It's not only one. Okay, so mainly this lifestyle. So this is the concept of multifactorial. So like I have discussed here for cardiovascular disease, stress, smoking, no. Then after this, then your diet, cholesterol, physical activity. It's all interlinked. Obesity comes somewhere as a product of dietary factor and physical inactivity. Then you become obesity. From obesity you increase so many other factors From obesity you get hypertension, from hypertension you get hypertensive disease. It's very complex, okay, and from hypertension you can get stroke. It's a lot of, it's a web, that's why it's called a web of causation. So do you understand this web of causation? Do you understand this web of causation? कुछ idea है? You tell me some other disease of web of causation, like for let's say cancer. कौन से कैंसर जेनेटिक होता है यार? तुम लोग उससे उल्टा फुल्टा बोलता है. जेनेटिक कभी बोलना नहीं है. सबसे पहले सबसे लास्ट में है जेनेटिक to get cancer, no? It is a very rare genetically, no? Do you tell me others, Sanjeev?
So smoking, tobacco.
हाँ यही बोलना है ना. तो स्मोकिंग मतलब टोबैको है वन फैक्टर. और क्या है? So if we think about esophageal cancer, so what are the other factor? One may be tobacco, और क्या है esophageal cancer में? What else? Tobacco, alcohol, ना? Tobacco मतलब smoking भी हो सकता है. Chewing tobacco also. Then you chewing this pan also, no? Arecanut. All these factors are leading to cancer of esophagus. Okay. Where is Soyang Chang? You tell me this. What are the multi-web of causation for stroke? Why people get stroke? Is there any specific cause of stroke? Okay, diabetes also leads to stroke. Okay, only diabetes lead to stroke. Without diabetic, people cannot get stroke. Diabetic because of the lifestyle changes that we say again. Who is of a dietary, sedentary lifestyle? No, people that become obesity, then lead to hypertension, high blood pressure. From high blood pressure lead to stroke. Okay. So it's a lot of web of causation. Ask any question about this web of causation. How you understand this web of causation? So you read, okay. So I'll advise you read from Park's textbook this web, because we are online only, so I'll not take much time also.